you said you were, say, a dropout from society. Well, you might say in that respect, but the fact that these same friends who had short hair in the old days are still around and now they have long hair, would you say that you're just
Well, it's just that now
distinguishing
it's
yourself?
just yeah, it's just that now we have a little more nerve than we used to have because we know there are more of us.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
distinguishing yourself.
Right. In those days, there were just a few of us around. Like, and the musicians were in those days, all the ones that were playing at coffee house, were doing exactly the same shit as we're all doing now. I mean, in terms of our lifestyles, we're all living like low budget existence, kind of. You know, we've learned to like to get into things that are groovy rather than expensive. You know, we've developed certain tastes by like living on the sort of on the low edge financially, and it's made us think about other things besides making it because we've seen people be successful, we've seen them be unhappy and successful, and that's not where it's at for any of us. You know, we don't care whether we're successful or not because we've been unsuccessful for years. You know.
Yeah, it doesn't bother you.
Right. It's no big sweat.
Well, if it comes along where you're successful and fairly wealthy,
Then
what
maybe
happens?
we'll see if we can find a better way to do it. You know, a better way to be successful and wealthy, a way that's more rewarding to us, in a way to spend our money in such a way so that it brings about more enjoyment for more people, or more something for more people, more food certainly. You know, like a lot of what we make now is just like money to live on for us and our friends and anybody around who doesn't have any bread or doesn't have anything, because there are always people around who need something. And I don't need anything. I don't really want anything. You know, I've got instruments and some. You know, I mean, like I know I can eat and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's not. I'm not really worried about anything. And there's nothing I really want, except to be able to play more music and to get better at it.
Well, how does this war in Vietnam get you?
Well, not directly at all so far, except that it's starting to get hard to buy things like cymbals and guitar strings, certain kinds of things. You can't stock lots of them because they're making bullets out of them.
Yeah.
And that, like, is hitting us where we live a little bit, in that we're starting to get an idea that there's something going on in the world that nobody knows about very much, you know,
Yeah.
that it's like, it's a big mystery. And it's not really a mystery. The war is like an effort on the part of the establishment to keep the economic situation in the United States comparatively stable.
Well, if you hadn't already served in the service,
Would I go?
That's right.
I wouldn't go. I would not go. I am totally against war. I'm against it not on any religious principles, but just because I could never kill anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't expect that in the natural course of things I would ever be brought to a situation in my head where I would want to kill anybody, or where I'd actually be able to do it. I just don't want to do it. You know, it's a sin. It might be the only sin that there is. It's like anti-life, and I'm against anything that's anti-life.
But do you think, really, there are some people, of course, who don't care about killing, I mean, if they do, but don't you think the majority of the guys fighting over there don't want to kill, but they have to?
I don't know whether they do or not. I think if they do object to killing, I don't see why they don't object to killing and say, I'm not going to kill, I refuse to kill, I'm not going to kill anybody. No matter what you do to somebody, it's not as bad as killing them. Like, killing them is killing them.
Yeah,
That's sort of the fun thing about it.
Right. And I don't see how anybody could do it. You know, I don't see how anybody could do it, how anybody could drop bombs on rice paddies or on little villages or something like that. I mean, it's really a horror to me. You know, it's not. I'm not intellectualizing about it. I'm only speaking from like newsreels and things that I've seen.
Yeah.
And what I've seen is like really horrified me. I don't understand why it's going on. It's not my idea, and I don't feel like I'm any kind of subversive force. You know, I feel like an American, and I'm really ashamed of it lately.
Yeah.
But I would, you know, I don't think the country has to do that. I don't think the people want it to happen. I think that other kinds of internal differences, you know, changes like social changes of some sort, that would make the economic thing work out in such a way so that it wouldn't be necessary to kill anybody. You know, there's bound to be alternatives, is the thing. I think that killing people is like the stupidest thing we can do. Just stupid.
Supposedly there's a purpose. I mean, what purpose is there? Of course,
The
to kill
purpose
someone,
is,
but
the purpose in the case of the war seems to be so that whoever, the handful of people who have the actual monetary power in the United States will be able to retain that power. The whole idea, the whole power struggle, you know, is like, it's some kind of modern fallacy that by having something, you're gaining something. Like having lots of money or having a huge corporation or something like that. It all represents power, but the kind of power that it is like, it's illusory. It's not real power. It's I mean, it's like worthless, you know. Well, like if you're gonna die, you're gonna die, and all the things that you've done in terms of your power and your money and stuff like that are of absolutely no value. They're just like pointless. I think it's more important for me to live a good life than it is for me to be rich and powerful or something like that. But that whole drive toward power and wealth and I'm going to keep it all myself, you know, nobody's going to get any of mine, you know, is like, it's insane.
yeah.
It's just it's an insane attitude.
Well, okay, yeah, I agree. But on this Vietnam thing, say our own country was directly threatened, would you?
I don't know what I do.
Life.
I don't know what I do until such time as that actually happened. I'm not going to worry about it happening because I've got better things to worry about if I want to worry about stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in my own head. These are conclusions that I've just arrived at. They're not anything that anybody told me or anything I read. I've just arrived at them by like watching things happen. I think that the world needs to be would best serve itself by like taking care of itself. Like if everybody in the world could learn to be responsible to the extent of taking care of what's going on right around them, to seeing that nobody dies in front of them, you know, to care a little, then the world's big problems would like disappear. There aren't. I don't think there are any big problems. See, we're all human beings. We're all occupying this globe, and we have to learn how to live together. We have to, you know, to learn to get along because we're like using up the earth. You know, we're using up our resources. We're creating weird situations in which we kill each other. We're destroying all the natural beauty around us, and we're destroying each other. And it doesn't seem like the way things should go. It seems like everybody should be like working in some way to advance the world as a whole. You know.
Well, your music then is definitely working on this end to try and.
In the extent that we are trying to make music in such a way that our music will not have a message for anybody. We don't have anything to tell anybody. You know, we don't want to change anybody. We just want to give people a chance to feel a little better. You know, that's the absolute most we want to do with our music. Our music doesn't the music doesn't enter into these ideas, and these ideas are just my personal opinions. They're not our way of feeling like, because like everybody in the band has their own ideas about the world and about the way things are and stuff like that. Everybody's entitled to that. The music that we make together is something that's an act of love and an act of joy. We like it. You know, we really like it a lot. And if it says something, it says it in its own terms at the moment we're playing it, and it doesn't have anything to do with, you know, we're not telling anybody to go get stoned or to do something different or to drop out or, you know, we're not saying anything to anybody. We're just playing.
And people take it for what they want.
Right, they can take it any way they want.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it's best.
Well, now when this scene moves, like, you know, say New York and the airplanes there now and everything, do you have any objections to moving with it from place to place?
None at all. In fact, I don't think I have anything else to do in the world.
You'd like to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because I like to see a lot of things that I've never seen before.
But San Francisco, will you always consider it a home base type
I
of
was
thing?
born here.
Yeah.
I think of it, I guess more as my home than any place else, really.
Where are you going to play in New York?
I don't know. We're just going.
Yeah.
We don't have any jobs lined up, but I think we probably will by the time we leave. We're just going to go. We even thought of going there and changing our name and just, you know, being an unknown group again and seeing if we could do it.
Could make it, huh?
Sure.
Name some, in just short phrases, name some in things and out things you like and things you don't like.
Things I like and things I don't like. I can only tell you about things I like. I don't know what I don't like. There isn't that much I don't like. I like just about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hard.
I don't have any complaints. You know, I don't have any complaints. I don't have any bones to pick. You know.
Yeah. Good way to be.
Yeah.
So, what about, this is just, I'm asking you, what do you think of Buffalo Springfield?
I like them.
You like them?
Yeah, I like. Have you heard Moby Grape?
I haven't.
I've heard
You should hear them. They're good.
You really like them, huh?
Yeah, I like them a lot. Skip Spence is
Yeah, he's, what, rhythm?
rhythm
lead?
guitar player.
Yeah. Is he better on rhythm than on drums? Because he's a good drummer. Really good
It's
drummer.
hard to say. It's hard to compare the two. He's good at both. He's also just beautiful on stage. I mean, he's a great showman, you know.
Well, when I heard My Best Friend, I thought that was you. You know, I heard that flat top, and it never occurred to me that was...
Yeah, well, they did 2 tracks on it. Like Yorma and Skip both played flat tops on the first track, and then Yorma added the lead over.
Yeah. Yorma, would you consider an outstanding guitar player, or different, or standard, or
He's
what?
an exceptionally original guitar player, and he's got a lot of beautiful ideas and real good technical facility.
Embryonic Journey, I really like that. Huh?
Yeah, beautiful guitar playing.
It sounds like a 30 guitars on it.
Right.
You have a few well-chosen words about Matt Cates.
We've never had any personal dealings with Matt Cates. I've only heard about him. I don't want to add any hearsay to the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Matt Cates.
Is a cigar chewing.
Right, he's the famous old manager.
Yeah.
That's all I can say
Yeah.
about him. That's exactly who he is. And 10 years ago, that would have been just fine. But
Now,
the way things are now, it's outmoded and it's not even fashionable anymore. And already, like the San Francisco scene, because it's creating so much excitement, the record companies are swarming around, but they're all leaving because the managers and the bands say, no, we don't want to make a fortune. We don't want to be rock and roll stars. We want to make good music. And either you give us the ability to do that, or we don't want anything.
Yeah.
And so those guys are leaving, scratching their heads and wondering, but they'll be back. They always come back because they know that there's dollars involved in it.
Well, what about the radio stations? I mean, all you hear anymore...
The radio stations are our friends.
Yeah, well, why don't they play? I mean...
Because our records aren't out yet.
Yeah, the airplane, they haven't done much with the...
No, KFRC is playing a lot of stuff off their album.
Well, what about their old album? Was that because...
Their old album wasn't all that good, probably, in those days. I don't know. Well, see, here's the thing about radio stations. Radio stations, there's only one guy in the radio station that decides what's going to be played, and that's the guy called the program director.
Yeah.
And the program director can be anybody. It can be your uncle or your grandfather. He's usually a guy who's pretty much of a disinterested observer. He gets incoming records at the rate of something like 50 a day or something like that, 25 a day, dozens and dozens of records, lots of them all the time.
Yeah.
And he puts down a record and puts a needle on the groove and listens to the first 12 bars of it. If he doesn't like it right then, you never hear of it. It never comes out on the radio. If he does like it, puts on a playlist. You know, there's maybe some quota or something like that. The average radio station is only playing about 30 records at a time. 30 or 40 records, maybe.
You think it's really like this top 10 business and number one?
Well, that has to do with what's sold, but what's sold has to do with what's heard. So the program directors are the ones that are the cause of a hit or not a hit, because they're the ones that decide whether or not the record gets played.
Well, the monkeys just drive me crazy, you know.
Well, when you make a record, you make it for the program director. You know, that's really where it is. When you make a single, you make it for the program director. You make it short, you know, under 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and you make it so that it'll grab his theoretical ear in the first 12 bars.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't do that, the record never gets played. And there's a hell of a lot of good records that never got played for one reason or another.
Well, what do you think of the monkeys?
What am I supposed to think of them? I mean, what do you want me to say?
Well, I mean, why should they be number one? I mean, their music...
Well, who knows?
Right?
Because their records are pretty good. And they should be good because they have the best of LA studio musicians. They have good arrangers.
Who does the singing? I always wondered.
I don't know who does the singing. I think that probably on the recent ones, the Monkees
Yeah,
themselves
that's-
do the singing. On the early ones, I understood they used studio singers.
Yeah.
How good does a record have to be? I mean, do you know in terms of sales what it has to be number one in the nation on billboards? Or break into the top 100?
I'm not sure how many a record has to sell. But for example, if you have a record, say in the top 10 at Billboard, it's a good seller. It's a good record. It's at least it's a commercial record, you know. All this stuff is it's completely mysterious. You know, there's no telling why any of it happens. It's just there doesn't seem to be any reason why one record should make it over others. Because like a lot of records that have a lot of really good music on them don't ever get played.
Well, you've heard your album now, obviously, so what do you think?
Well, I think our album is honest. It sounds just like us at a job.
Yeah.
It even has mistakes on it and stuff like that. But it also has a certain amount of excitement on it. It sounds like us. We felt good when we were making it. We did it in a short period of time, only 4 days. It's the material that we've been doing on stage, you know, for quite a long time. There's not too much fucking around with it as far as recording techniques. There's not too much reverb and stuff like that added to it, except what we use ourselves. The instruments sound good, and it sounds like I say, it sounds like us. It sounds like a good set, one of our good sets.
Did you write all the stuff on it?
No, some of it's like public domain stuff. And
That one you sing, Little One, or did you do
that's
that
not
one?
that's not.
What do you think is going to happen to the San Francisco scene?
I don't know. I'm not. You know, I'm not even sure why there's so much commotion.
It's become a good tourist attraction.
Right. Let alone what's going to happen to it. I have no idea what's going to happen to it. You know, I just can't. There's just no way of telling.
Well, you know that all things come to an end.
Sooner or later.
Like Everly Brother type music, and now
Right.
the Beatles the English sound's going out, and now this sound I think is starting up.
Right.
What you're doing now, if it goes out, what are you going to go back to bluegrass again?
Well,
and coffee houses?
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I'll know that when I get there.
But it doesn't bother you because
No, it doesn't bother me now because I'm not. It's just like the thing I'm most concerned with is what's going on right around me, and what's going on right now, not what's going to happen tomorrow or what happened yesterday.
Well, in that respect, you don't seem very concerned about the stuff that was taken.
Uh,
Well, is that because you figure it's done and
Right,
don't
it's
cry over
done.
it?
Right,
So-
it's pointless to worry about it. Like I can think about, I can work myself into a big frenzy about it. But somebody stole it. It's gone. You know, I hope they can have a good time with it. I hope we can get it back somehow without having to put anybody in jail. It's not that big of a thing because we can like afford it to get more, and maybe that's like some sort of spiritual dues that we paid because we're being successful suddenly. That means that now somebody can steal our equipment and not feel guilty about it because we're making more money than they are. I don't know. There's any number of reasons. I'm not worried about it because it's not my nature to worry about things like that.
Yeah.